Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go, this is Valley News Live at noon.
The North Dakota BCA is investigating an officer-involved shooting that turned deadly in Bismarck. Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Jordan Schreier. Police saying neighbors told them they thought the suspect had a bomb, and a second caller told police he saw the suspect had a gun. Nearby homes were evacuated overnight, and police say the man shot at officers through a window before they fired back. The 30-year-old man was then found dead in his apartment. The officers involved have been put on administrative leave. Taking that live look outside right now, we have a lot of folks that are headed through lots of different weather to get to what I believe is Frisco that we're looking at here. At least I hope it is. Anyway, for what we can expect in our neck of the woods, let's head on over right now to meteorologist Lisa Green.
Yeah, that is not here. It is not warm enough to rain here in the valley. In fact, it's really frigid right now. We're looking at temperatures that are near zero into the afternoon. And then once that sun goes down tonight, we're going to watch those numbers really start to plummet as we're looking at our hourly planner here. So a cold one for today and into the day on Saturday coming up here. So a quick look at those temperatures. We're right at 0 in Fargo. We're at 3 in Wahpeton. It's 3 below in Grand Forks and still at 8 below in Langdon. So I mentioned this earlier that we really wouldn't see much of a temperature rise. That's exactly what's happening. And we're still dealing with some tough wind chills, teens to 20s below, close to 30 below right now in Langdon and in Devil's Lake. So dangerously cold. Make sure you're ready for this here this afternoon. We have had a couple of moments of light snow around Sisseton, back over to Wheaton, right along the state line. That is starting to drop southward. And if you still have to head to Frisco, we're looking at some conditions that are going to be hazardous on the roads. Snow going to greet you along I-29 in parts of South Dakota and back over to Omaha. And then at some point, somewhere between Omaha, Kansas City, we're looking at a transition where we're maybe dealing with some ice and some freezing rain. And then from there, those stormy conditions we've been talking about. There are watch boxes for parts of Kansas into Oklahoma. And eventually we'll see that chance for some storms ramping up around Frisco, seeing some of that right now, in fact. So a severe thunderstorm risk for this afternoon and evening. Looks like some intense storms possible with tornadoes, large hail, damaging wind for the Frisco area and in surrounding areas. So if you're on the road, know somebody on the road, make sure that they have a way of being alerted. And on the Valley News Live weather app, you can select Follow Me or Frisco to get the alerts down in Frisco along the way. So we're looking at conditions that are going to be quite tough as we work our way through the day and work our way southward for anybody heading in that direction. We'll have more on that coming up in just a little bit.
Look forward to it. Thank you, Lisa. And if you're planning to hit the road for the big game, make sure you have the Valley News Live Storm Team weather app so you can keep up with the weather anytime, anywhere. You'll get the latest forecasts and conditions so you can plan your day. Just search VNL Weather in the App Store and download it for free. Authorities have now identified the young Minnesota man who died at a National Guard training camp. He has been identified as 19-year-old Private Connor McGurran of Owatonna. He was found unresponsive Wednesday morning following a training exercise. McGurran enlisted in the Minnesota Army National Guard last September and was going through basic training at Fort Jackson in South Carolina. An investigation into the cause of his death is underway. A family is recovering from severe burns and preparing for a child's funeral after a fire in central North Dakota. Fire crews responded to the blaze near McCluskey Wednesday afternoon, but they couldn't get into the house because flames were out of control and dangerous. 3 family members were airlifted to a burn center in St. Paul, and the child's body was recovered yesterday. Their names have not yet been released, and there is no word on a cause, but foul play is not suspected. A dog in Minnesota is dead after it ate meth that was left in a subway bag. The Chisago County Sheriff's Office says earlier this week a family in that county noticed their dog was acting strange. They then went outside and found this subway bag filled with 80 grams of meth, needles, and a meth pipe. The dog got into the bag and ate some of what was inside, eventually killing the pet. Chisago County is northeast of Minneapolis. Authorities in the Northern Valley are searching for a driver who took police on a high-speed chase and then ditched the car. It all started with a traffic stop in Grand Forks around 1:30 this morning. The suspect then drove back and forth between Grand Forks and East Grand Forks, prompting a response from both departments. The chase was eventually stopped for safety reasons. Later, authorities in Grand Forks found the vehicle abandoned but arrested a passenger in the car who was close by. 24-year-old Hannah Azure was arrested for possession of methamphetamine and paraphernalia. It's Friday. That means it's time to take a look at this week's Valley's Most Wanted. Police say 39-year-old Priscilla Bullbear is wanted for failing to register as a sex offender. Call your local law enforcement if you have any information about her. Thousands of Bison fans from around North Dakota are on their way down to Frisco, Texas. Some by car, some flew, and others jumped on a fan bus. Julie Martin hopped on with Midwest Sports Tours, and she tells us about the fan journey to the FCS championship.
The Bison Tracker app locates fans all over the world, but those from North Dakota who are choosing to use this tour bus to get down to Frisco all have a story of their own. 90 Bison fans hit the open road for the cross-country trip to Frisco.
1,200 miles, somewhere around 1,200 miles. It should take us, I know from Fargo is 17 hours and 1 minute.
For some, the trip is annual.
What did I say, 6 to Frisco now? And I've done 1 in Target Field. I've never been to the Fargo Dome.
Others have connections to the team.
Became a fan when my son got recruited to play for the Bison. So when they were D2, he ended up with a couple championship rings.
Some of the veteran travelers shared their advice for the rookies.
Bring some sort of sleep aid, because otherwise you're going to be up all night.
But the newbies seem to be figuring out the bus just fine.
We got running water, bathroom on here, so we'll be all right. Rally towels.
One fan says once you make the trip, you'll always come back for another.
This won't be your last trip. I can guarantee you that. It's so easy to get addicted to this and decide that, hey, this is something you've got to do, and you look forward to it happening.
Making the 1,200-mile trip, keeping the horns up the entire way.
Go Bison, let's have a great time.
A herd of bison with driving forces on its way to Texas.
The buses are expected to make their arrival in Frisco this afternoon. And our team is already there. Our Proceed Road to Frisco coverage will continue tonight and take you up to our 90-minute-long Farmers Union Insurance Bison football pregame show. That is tomorrow. It starts at 9:30 in the morning with kickoff to follow at 11 o'clock. And again, that game is between the Bison and the Dukes.